NASCAR Winston Cup Racing on Fox is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. By Old Spice. By Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. And by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Working the first caution of the day, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Michael Waltrip, teammates leading this race. Let's have a look at the efficiency of pit stops.
You'll see Dale Earnhardt Jr., they rose to the occasion, came in second, went out first. But look at Jeff Gordon right there, came in fourth, went out 10th. Looked like there was some serious chassis adjustments going on that race car. Matt Yoakum.
Well, Larry, what actually happened on pit road for Jeff Gordon, Dave Smith, the rear tire changer, had a lug hang inside the socket. He had to take the impact gun and beat it on the ground to get it to release. Right now, Matt Clark and Dave Smith, they were looking over the tape. They did make a track bar adjustment to try to help Jeff Gordon's tight condition. To Jeff Hammond.
Matt, a lot of guys were talking about needing to make serious chassis adjustments. One of these ways that we're going to do this with a spring rubber. And if you will take a look right here at a spring rubber, you can see here's a normal spring right here. And what you do is you put the spring rubber in here like so, and what it does, it actually makes this spring think it's stiff, Chris. And some guys, when they're being so tight in the center, it's not unusual for them to come in, pull the right rear tire off, insert the spring rubber, and it allows the car to turn better in the center of the corner.
Hey Jeff, tell them how they do the spring rubber where they got it tie wrapped to the spring so they can just flip it in there.
Yeah, a lot of times what they'll do, they'll take this spring rubber, and you see I got a full spring rubber here. They'll cut it in half. They'll take a tie wrap, actually tie wrap it to the spring, just like about like this. The rear tire changer can come in, flip it up, so he doesn't have to carry it around, and it goes right inside the spring, again, making it stiffer, eliminating time as far as exchanging things from one guy to another, as far as if the tire carrier is carrying the spring rubber or having to reach in your belt to take it out. You just take and flip it up in there, makes for a faster pit stop.
How does that affect the car?
What it does, Chris, is when the spring goes down, it makes it stiffer, makes it think it's stiffer. You can start with a softer spring in case racetrack conditions you need it to be changing. You can always do this by putting the rubber in or taking one out.
Yeah, that was one of those things I told Jeff one day. He said they put half of a spring rubber in the right rear spring. I said, ain't no way, man. They did it too fast. And then he went and checked, and he saw how they were doing it. They were tie wrapping that thing in there and flipping it right into the spring.
We'll go racing back to green next time by. Here's where the Coca-Cola Racing family is running in this race with 6 drivers in the top 10. You know, we talk a lot about what's new in racing. The Monte Carlo body is brand new this year. Chevrolet has 5 drivers in the top 5. Wasn't that long ago, 1997, the Ford Taurus body was all new, and Ford drivers finished this race in positions 1 through 7 and 13 out of the top 14.
Yeah, that car was brand new in '97. They introduced it here. Mark won the race, and it just stirred up a lot of controversy.
Yeah, we were the top finishing Chevrolet with Dale Earnhardt, and we were probably about 30 yards from going a lap down. I remember getting at the back of the NASCAR trailer, and Gary Nelson and the group got down there and said, well, do you want to just all start screaming at once, or if you appointed someone to speak for you? But you know what, guys? We're in Viva Las Vegas. What do you think? Turn that surround sound up, and let's crank it up. Green. Rush hour Las Vegas style. See, Ryan Newman in the 12 car we talked about just a few minutes ago, he was 2 laps down. So what he's trying to do is get one of those laps back right here, hopefully catch a caution, but he better catch it in a hurry, but he's not giving up easy.
All right, let's review what happened on those pit stops. Jeannie?
And no one fearing a pit stop more than the 17 of Matt Kenseth. Not just track position, he's worried about losing guys. See, if he takes his foot off the gas, the motor stalls. So far, so good. As for the 25 of Joe Nemechek, he's real happy with the car. Didn't want to make any changes, just 4 tires and fuel. Some chatter on the radio now that he might want to try a higher line since it's becoming a trend.
Ricky Craven driving out of the state of Maine. Well, things are not going well for him. They crashed just a little while ago, brought the car into the pit area to try to work on it. Worked on it a while. NASCAR decided, hold him for a lap. Apparently, NASCAR didn't like the way he picked up the pace car. To Steve.
Dick, Bobby Labonte, our pole sitter, described his car as a little bit free on that last run, so they added air pressure to the left side tires. He came in 5th, went out 4th. Matt Yoko.
Steve, on that last run, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s biggest complaint, the car was loose too long. He felt like it was just holding him up too much, so they made an air pressure adjustment in the right front. A lap and a half ago, Tony Eury Jr. called to his cousin, says, how do you like that now? Jr. says, the car feels really good. Tony Jr. said, I knew it would, and there's your leader.
Still a lot of battling right in the mid-pack after the restart. Here are the big movers.
Yikes. Man, that 88 car was down on the apron. Just about got into the side of that 20. Ooh, that was tight.
It's a battle for 9th right there with Tony Stewart in the 20 and Dale Jarrett in the 88. Mark Martin, he's a lap down. Now, this is what getting back. Now, it's going to be interesting to watch Jeff Gordon in the 24. He's been up there running in the top 5. Now he's way back in the pack, so we're going to see what he's able to do because he's back in 15th position.
Yeah, and he's saying, man, I'm in a tight place.
And all this because everybody's fast on new tires, so you got to go while you can?
They just keep making the cars. The bad cars get better. That's what happens. The good cars don't get any better. They stay about the same. But the bad cars keep getting better and better because they can work on them. Bad meaning, I don't mean they're bad. They're just not handling like the driver wants them to. And every time there's a caution or a pit stop, they're going to make that car better, and it's going to make him more competitive. And
one of the best cars on track is Joe Nemechek, yesterday's winner. Now in the number 25, he's just passed Michael Waltrip and taken over 3rd place. So Nemechek, who started deep, 26th.
Yeah, he really looked good on that restart, Mike. Oh, there's the car almost out of... Whoa, that was the 29 car.
Kevin Harvick.
Harvick came off a 4. I think he got into the outside wall a little bit and crossed it up. Did a great job of saving that thing. Looked a lot like he did over there. Where was it where he passed down on the apron? Chicago? Last year? Except he wasn't going for the lead this time. He all right?
Rear's off weak. You gotta let me know how bad it is.
Kurt Busch, Bobby Labonte.
Oh, he's wobbling.
5th place.
The 18 coming inside.
I think he may have got into the wall here just a few laps
Something
ago.
may have caused Harvick to do what he did. Here it comes. Ooh. Yo, brushed it. And there was Harvick right up behind him. That's what happened. All I saw was Harvick come down
I'll check your damage out for you. Go to the inside. I'll check your damage out for you.
Let's go on board with Harvick. Kurt Busch just ahead.
You know what? You just heard somebody tell Kurt Busch to go to the inside. I'll check the damage out for you. That was Jeff Burton, his teammate in the 99 car, telling him that.
I don't think he hurt the car. He just got the right rear up against the fence. Didn't hurt it, I don't think.
No, you see Burton go right alongside and past Kurt Busch to check things out.
That's something Roush Racing created there. See Mark Martin in the 6 car. He's in trouble.
That may be why Mark hadn't been running any better than he has, because he is.
Sure, is that fatal there, Mark? Yes.
And he might be glad it's fatal.
Yeah, he wasn't
and
running
caution
well.
is out.
Well, big break for Kurt Busch, because I think his car's all right, but he'd want to come to pit road and look at it.
Second caution of the day comes out of lap 116. Mark Martin's going to coast around here at less than the speed limit on I-15 here.
Now, they said they put a rubber in the right rear of Kurt Busch's car. They may be wanting to take that back out because that's a product of too much right rear spring, what happened to him.
But I tell you, that is neat that you're out there racing and your teammate comes on the radio and says, go to the inside of me, I'll look at your damage. That's something Roush Racing created between these drivers where they could talk to each other.
They have that, and Racing Electronics put together a system for Rick Hendrick. Remember when Hendrick's cars ran 1, 2, 3 in the Daytona 500? they had a dual channel radio system where the drivers could talk to each other or talk to their own crews. Very similar to what Roush has here. It will be of no benefit to Mark Martin, though, whose car goes up in smoke and to the garage.
Now, we've only ran 10 laps, but I still believe we'll see a lot of cars come to pit road, but this may be where we see some right side tires only, just right side.
Jeannie?
Larry Mack, you are a genius. That was the conversation that was going on between Joe Nemechek and his crew chief. What do you think? We only have 15 laps. What do you say, right side only? And Joe said, all right, let's go for it. Let's just not lose any time because the car's running great.
Nemechek's out of his pit before the line is into their pit. Dick?
Kurt Busch slides in, and Jimmy Fennig, the crew chief, has said, work on that right rear. The plan is to try to fix some of the sheet metal damage as much as they possibly can on the right rear corner of the car. To Matt.
Dick, down in the A pit, they're basically using this stop as a test. They're going to do right side tires, only 16 laps on the left side, because basically a little bit of trouble trying to get around the 24, basically trying to get an idea about what this race car will do as Jeff Gordon comes in and Gordon leaves, is what they will do if later in the race if they had to do a two-tire change. Also, the pressures in the right front, the same as the last stop.
Working on the damage on Kurt Busch's right rear.
The reason you would take 2 tires right now, other than to get track position, is you only have to put a shot of gas in it. So you don't want to sit there and just, you know, wait. So you might as well just stick 2 on it and go.
I tell you who elected not to stick 2 on, no fuel, no anything. His brother Michael Waltrip at 15, he stayed out.
And what good it yesterday in the Busch race for a couple of them.